That's me. I'm Scrooge, and I got old Molly's Bolly, and I'm the baddest cat in all this world. I've been studying all my life how to Scrooge people, and I guarantee I've done some fine work in that direction. Cratchit, yes, sir? You busy? I surely is, sir. Say you keep busy. Don't want no dangling wangling around here. Keep everybody tight. And tell them two cats come in here want to get some money. I ain't giving no money away. They ain't messing with Scrooge. I'm taking it in. I ain't putting it out. Is that clear? Well, leave it clear. People come around here wanting my gold daddle, trying to prime my vault. Every time I turn around, somebody's trying to tell my nephew I don't want to have no dinner with him. And if he never comes in here again, it'll be too soon. I'll tell you, cat. See what you do. Don't understand these people who are after my period close-up piss here place today. Well, let me tell you something else. You think you're going to get off Christmas Day? Well, I was hoping, sir, that you let me knock off this little while for Christmas Eve because I want to go home and cool the goose. Well, you're going to get off Christmas Eve. You're going to have to work all day Christmas. You hear me? I hear you, sir. I'm with it. Well, I guess I'll go on home here. So Scrooge takes off, and he cuts on down the street, and the snow's blowing, and the wind is howling, and Scrooge is going along in his loose soul, and his loose clothes, and his hard cash box, and his big money mine going on in his wig, and he ding, 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 ding up the stairs, and he opens his door, and he gets inside, and he puts a double lock on the door, because he's a little bugged tonight. He being saying humbugging so long, humbug this and humbug that, he don't give himself a natural humbug. He got a bug hum in his seat. So he double locked the door. And you sit down, all of a sudden, there's an old bell laying over there in the corner. And the bell goes ding, 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 ding. And Scrooge says, what's that? Ding, dong, what's that? Bell starts ringing, ding, dong, ding, dong. Pretty soon, all the bells in the house start ringing. Ding, ding, dang, ding, dong. Ring, dong, boom, boom, ding, dong, boom, boom. And here's something. Like some change cats are pulling all the change from the change of time. Up the hill of strife, ringing and dinging with his whole head ringing and dinging with them changes. Bloop. In come a cat, a wild-looking cat you ever seen in his life. Real gone cat. Scrooge does a real wild take. I know who that stud is. That's Molly. I know that's Molly. What are you doing? They say, Molly. That's me. Man, you chained up there. Man, you got chains all over you there. Well, I put them on myself. That's the way I lived it. I chained myself. I hung myself up with all these chains, you know. Being parsimonious, you understand what I mean. Can't get them off now. I've been lugging these chains all over the country for the past 7 years. That's a long time. What you want with me there, Molly? Because I got your Molly. I don't mess with Molly no more. Wish I'd given it all away when I had it. I'm going to tell you something else, too. I'm a spook. You know that. You telling me. I know that. You spook, man. I want to get straight. I'm going to tell you something else, Mr. Scroogey Scrooge. There are going to be 3 more gaslighting spooks coming in to see it. 3 more gaslighting spooks. Hey, one spook's enough. Can I have them all one at a time? Nope, they come in one at a time. First one be 11, next one be 12, next one be what? Man, if I had known this, tell you what, you did true, it's not what you're putting down. You've been a real sorry cat for all this time. You're going to be gassed now by these spooks. Well, it's got to be gassed. Ain't going to cost me no money, is it? Cost you more than that, Scrooge. Ain't no more than money. You find out. And Molly split. And old Scrooge is sitting there sweating and dangling. All of a sudden, man, here's some wild, crazy kind of thing going on. You don't know just what it is. And all of a sudden, boom! Here comes a great big fat spook, look like takes 170 wings, lift them over the housetop, and they got the old beat-up cat and spindly legs and strangling arms and pedicured eyes and a whole lot of skull whipping up a storm. And he looks at little Scrooge. He says, Scrooge is standing there in the corner, feeling like a disrupted, small, disregarded, unclaimed white mouse, midget style, sitting over there, and this spook says, come with me. Because I is the ghost of Christmas past. Scrooge said, do I have to? He said, you certainly do. He got on the ghost wing and took off, and he's flying old Scrooge over the top of the mountain. The wind is blowing, the wind is parting his way, and he's looking down and seeing all these crazy scenes going on. Zoom! Goes over a few miles, takes him down to a sunlit pasture. And the sunlit pasture is full of children, and they're singing and dancing and loving and going and swinging. And Scrooge said, look, that reed on there. Yeah, that's you. That look pretty good. Yeah, but you don't look good now. He said, you want a hip, you got to set yourself. Takes him off to another place and shows him a pretty little chick. Got dimples, 3 dimples on each chin. You got 3 dimpled children, and the next 3 dimpled on the way. And there's a ring swirling cat around there. That's a happy time. It looks like 17 carnivals taking off. And Scrooge looks at this chick and he said, I remember that chick. I could have married her once. Yeah, you could have. You're so tight with your purse. You always think about yourself. That's what happened. Say, let me hit you further, Mr. Scrooge. Let me tell you one thing. You better get everything straight that you want to get straightened up and take me home. Yeah, well, and he's home again. So, man, that was a shaker. This whole thing is shaking me up pretty bad. He said, what is it? Boom, here comes another big spook. Oh, he's a wild-looking spook. He's a crazy-looking spook. He's a fire spook. He's a gaslit spook. He got a gaslight right on the top of his wig going around like one of the dramatic pilot lights in a lighthouse, and he's there gassing up the whole scene. He come with me. I'm the ghostess of Christmas present. Scrooge looks around and sees the joint is loaded with apples and bananas and oranges and cradles and acroconics and ripperlips, all kinds of crazy wild grapes and crazy Christmas scenes and nuts and candy. And he say, come with me. Done took off again. He said, I'm the ghost of Christmas present. I'm going to show you what's going on in this world and how to dig Christmas and how to all enjoy it. And he took him up to a little outcast. And they're sitting on a small beat-up rock with two studs chomping up at a can of beer saying, Merry Christmas with you, Merry Christmas with you, Merry Christmas to the whole world. And so on and so forth, and he's showing him the people jumping for joy, and see how the cats got nothing, they got something anyway, and they're all jumping for joy, singing Merry Christmas, and the bell is ringing. Now you get yourself straight and see how things is. So they fly over the crackers. They little tiny kid, me sitting over in the corner crocheting, a little crazy scene, fiddling around, you know what I mean, and carrying on, see, and they talking all about this here goose, and they look down, and there's this little goose about the size of a beat-up, retarded sparrow. Everybody's oohing and eyeing all over the goose, and they saying, what you going to spread and tell you? God bless everyone, and even up to it, including Scroogey Scrooge. God bless everyone, and that's what Tiny Tim saying. Old Scrooge got red eyes. Took him back home again. Sounded like the whole side of the building opened up and then come a long angular loop, 17 gas lights and stovepipes hung together. Jingle bells all over. Scrooge take a look at this cat and said, do I have to go with you? He said, you certainly do, because I'm the ghostess of Christmas future. He said, come with me. Where we go? None of your business. He takes old Scrooge, they kind of flying around, the moonlight is shining down, boom, they're in a graveyard. Oh, a wild, crazy, spooky graveyard. And Scrooge is walking around, finding something stepped out of him, like he was struck at the force of his eyelids, some sort of electronic pitchfork. He reads on one of them billboards in that graveyard, this Scrooge, the baddest cat that ever lived. He don't have nothing, he ain't got nothing, he ain't got nothing now, period. Scrooge like that, and they're going to another place. There's a cat saying, you going to the funeral? He said, not me, man. I wouldn't go near that cat, dead or alive. Wouldn't pay me. Get near that cat. Hey, what cat is that? Suddenly Scrooge is taking the coffin factory. Seeing all these coffins laying around. See one coffin, the rest of them got flowers around. And this poor little coffin got nothing on it but just some pine wood boards. And old Scrooge look up and over, and he's looking at that and looking all the way because he knows who's in that coffin. He swings on back and the ghost puts him down, and old Scrooge is shaking and shivering, and he finally falls into a real wild miser's coma. And he falls out for how long, you don't know, and he wakes up in the morning hour, and the sun is shining, and the glorious snow, and old Scrooge is feeling so groovy and so wild, and he tip over to the window, he opened the window, see the little cat, he said, hey boy, you know that great big giant king-size bird down Doodley's window? You mean the prize bird? No, I mean that great big king-size bird. Say, go get that bird. Here's a 20. He knocks a 20 out of him. Go get that bird. And here's 10 more for a cab. And here's $5 for your sister. And here's $22.50 for your uncle's new bicycle. Tell anyone who wants anything to see Scrooge. I'm flying this here Christmas. I want to see Cratchit swing out with a great big swinging happy dinner. I'm with it all the way. And old Scrooge gets dressed, and he's walking down the street, and ding dong, the bells is ringing. Scrooge had a big smile on his face. Good morning, Mr. Scrooge. What did you say, baby? And he carrying on. Here's the day of long. And finally he fell his old Cratchit's place. He's got Christmas toys and Christmas joys and Christmas presents for everybody. They just opened the goose, and then little Tiny Tim sees him coming. He said, God bless Mr. Scrooge. He done did the turnabout. He's the Lord's boy today. And that's the story of Scrooge. You can get with it if you want to. There's only one way, straight to the road of love.